nurse practitioner. Went back and started to do palliative care. Every day, it seemed like I would see someone at the end of life that didn't have somebody. They're alone, or they have difficulty paying their bills, they don't have any insurance, they don't have anybody to care for them. You can't stay in the hospital when there's no more treatment. We would have to give the person taxi money, and the homeless men and women would have to go back to the shelter. Older men and women, people whose children live far away or whose children won't take care of them, they can't access hospice services. Where am I going to go? What's going to happen to me? To die alone without anybody? And a hospital is nowhere to die. Hildegard House is a home, and we provide care, compassionate care, to individuals at the end of life who have no home or family so that they can die with dignity. We are in a former Ursuline convent, and we renovated that convent. It took us about a year. That's where our home is now. We accepted our first resident July 2016. And since that time, we've had 52 people that have come to live at Hildegard House. I mean, some of them can't believe it when they come in the room and they'll say, I get to have this room all to myself.
If you're a hospice patient in our unit at the hospital, I don't have anything else to offer you. And that's the farthest from the truth. Yeah, I have no other medical treatment to cure your disease that I can offer you. But I still have a lot I can offer you, so to speak.
The Louisville community has been so good to us. We've had so many individual donors and corporations and foundations and others that have been generous to us. So it's another one of those miracles. We don't charge a fee. We don't bill insurance. We don't charge our residents or their families anything. The heart of Hildegard House is our volunteers. There are right now about 65 people that commit to serving a 5-hour shift once a week. They're called compassionate companions. They walk right along with someone on their journey.
It's very humbling to take care of people at end stage of life because they're vulnerable. It's an intimate time in their lives, and so we try to be very cognizant of that.
Having somebody care about the things that are important to you, your favorite food or your favorite song, no, those are really important human things. That we give somebody at the end of their life, and it helps them be peaceful, gives them dignity.
This is their home, and so we make their journey the way they want it. And for them to allow us to be part of this journey with them, it's the greatest honor there truly is.
It's hard to be around compassionate people and not be compassionate, and that's what we find, this one big compassionate community here.
We don't forget the people that we lose. They become part of us. He was a man that was exactly my age, and he was alone in the world. He had cancer that it had metastasized everywhere. And when he got here, he didn't want any pain medicine. And as volunteers, we kept offering, and he would quietly refuse it. It was a very hard death because of his desire for no medicine, but we got through it, and it was beautiful, magnificent. We did it together, and I found out later the reason he had refused all medication was he had been addicted to opioids, and he had beat the addiction, and he said, I want to die free. And he did.
You know, I didn't imagine that I would be starting a nonprofit. I didn't imagine that I'd be starting Hildegard House. But, you know, one of the things Hildegard said is, I'm a feather on the breath of God. And so that's kind of how I live my life. So that feather kind of floats around. And while I couldn't imagine that I would start Hildegard House, I'm not surprised.